Today, I'm going to speak to you on a very important topic. And as a matter of fact, it is the continuation of my previous recording. And it is about how to achieve a uniform and sustained development across the nation Ghana. And as a matter of fact, I would like to make this statement to all my brothers and sisters from other African countries listening to me. I am using Ghana as a case study because I'm a Ghanaian. I was born and raised in Ghana. I left Ghana after I completed University of Ghana. So I know most of these things from experience, and also with my following of events and other things in Ghana. So I can speak to Ghana's situation without any ambiguity, or with less ambiguity than other African countries. But as a matter of fact, whatever I'm saying is applicable to all African countries. And so it is my desire, it is my dream and prayer that you will listen to me if you're not a Ghanaian and look at your own country from this window, and you will see exactly what I'm telling you. Also, I want to state that I am not speaking to Ghanaian or the Ghana government. I am not speaking to anyone in the Ghana government or in political position that I am asking them to do what I'm saying. But I am speaking to all Ghanaians, which the president and all the ministers are part of. And therefore, I'm speaking to Ghanaians. And as a matter of fact, my main focus is the ordinary people. When you are ignorant about some things that other people or people in leadership can actually use you and deceive you. But if you are aware, or if you understand your responsibility and what you expect from your government, no one can deceive you, no one can cheat you. And so if you look at what is happening in Ghana, there are only two scenarios that actually come to mind. One, either the leaders are aware of what they are doing, and therefore they are using the ignorance of the people to achieve what they want to achieve, or they are completely not abreast with what is supposed to be done to develop the country. And when I say the leaders, I'm not talking about the current government. I'm talking about all the government that came and gone, and the present one. Because whatever the other old governments are doing is exactly what those in power now are doing. The same structure, the same organization, the same posture, the same approach. And so today I'm speaking to you as an ordinary Ghanaian. And when you understand some of these things, you'll be empowered, and you will stand up and demand from whoever is your leader what is expected of you. And so when we talk of uniform development, today, in my previous examples, I used the Britain as a case study. And that is what I'm going to do exactly. Because Ghana was the creation of the British government, the colonial masters. And everything that we practice came from their practices. And so when you come to the Western world, and if I take Britain as an example, if you go to every town, they have what we call community services. And so if you go to any town, you have community library, you have a community playground, you have this, and even parks and other social amenities that are provided. They are community-based. And why are they called community services? They are because they are provided by the community, the local administration. And as I stated the other day, every town has its own government. And so all these things are done by the local government, the town government, and they do it by generating revenue. And the revenue is taken from the people, you see. And so if you look at what is happening here, the people of Britain, or the government of Britain, knows what we call revenue mobilization, and they do it from the community base. As a matter of fact, the way this revenue is generated could be compared or could be likened to oil. If you take oil of any kind, you will realize that there is no oil living somewhere that you go and fetch. We have water that is in the river, it's in the lake, you go and fetch it. But we don't have oil anywhere that you can go and fetch. For you to get oil, you must extract it from a material or even take it from the belly of the ground. You see, and that is the same principle that is used in developing communities and nations across Europe and even North America. Community-based revenue generation. And as a matter of fact, the citizens are educated and made to be aware that development has a price and they have to pay. And so everyone in a community participates in a certain form of contribution or in the form of tax. And so if you are in Britain, listening to me, if you're a Ghanaian or African living in Britain, you'll realize that you pay council tax. There are some other taxes that you pay. All these things, some of these taxes are community-based, and the money goes to the local administration. That is what they use to provide all the services that you see. You see? And that is how this development, uniform and sustained development, are created. The money from the central government only comes as a supplement or to give them a larger latitude so that they'll be able to provide these services to every nook and corner of the town or the community. You see, so what we have in Ghana right now is an anomaly. You see, it doesn't exist anywhere in the developed world, in the places that we call developed world, because they understand how these things are done. And that is why my focus is to you, the ordinary man or woman, as a Ghanaian. To contribute towards the development of your community is a responsibility. As a matter of fact, it's a divine responsibility. And therefore, it is only when we agree within ourselves that we ought to contribute towards the development of our society, of our communities, our towns, then we'll be ready to make a contribution. I know most people will say that even if you pay tax, those in government will embezzle it. But as a matter of fact, some of the taxes are community-based. And even if you look at Ghana, only a fraction of people pay tax. The majority of people or Ghanaians don't pay tax. So you cannot actually even accuse someone that he will embezzle the tax that you pay when you don't pay tax. First, pay the tax. And when the people embezzle it, then we find a way to hold them accountable. And some of these taxes are local based or community based. And so you, the one in the community, you hold those leaders in your community accountable, you see. And so to gain sustainable or sustained development, uniform development in Ghana, there is the need for a complete restructure of the local administration, which I mentioned the other day. And so this is where the role of the central government comes in. The government must make or must provide the structures in such a way that the local administration will be properly reorganized and given power and authority to generate funds and to make laws, bylaws, and enforce them. You see, and so when you come to Britain or when you go to Britain or any developed world and you see community libraries, all these things littered everywhere, it is not necessarily that it is the central government, the government in Westminster that is providing all these things. No, it is the community. And as a matter of fact, the community hold their leaders accountable. So periodically, they meet their leaders and present to them their grievances, what they think are not to be done or what to be done. And most of these community laws and other things, even the central government cannot change them. Or if they want to change them, they have to engage the community, seek their perspective before most of these things could be changed, you see. So what we have in Ghana is an anomaly. And as a matter of fact, as I stated yesterday, all that I want you to do as a Ghanaian at any level listening to me is to sit down and ask yourself, even if the government of Ghana today is to gather all the resources that we have and sell all of them and get money, a bulk of money, and distribute this money across the nation, believe it or not, that amount will not be sufficient to provide every community what we need. And therefore, the best way to look at it is that the community itself will begin to mobilize resources. And when the central government get money from the other resources that we sell to other nations, then the central government will supplement whatever we have at the local level. Then the local administration has the power and the financial capacity to be able to provide all the services, you see. And so what we need to do is to turn our attention from the central government to the local government or local governance. And as I said the other day, governance is like a cake. If you take a cake, it has two parts. The cake itself is a fluffy thing. But those who make cakes, they want it to look beautiful, so they use icing to decorate the cake. As a matter of fact, the icing gives the cake the beauty and even the taste. It's very tasteful, very, very sweet. But if you look at the icing and conclude that that is the cake, then you are telling a lie. The cake is different from the icing. And in most cases, people even take the icing off the cake before they eat it because they don't like the sweet part of it. You see, and that is how governance is. Now, what it is that everyone's eyes, everyone's mind in Ghana is on the central government. But as a matter of fact, the central government is just the icing on the cake. The real cake is a complete and well-run and efficient local administration system. That serves as the cake. It gives the support to the icing, which is the central government. And it is all when all these local governments are doing their work properly and being supported by the central government, and all the people within the communities under the authority or jurisdiction of the local administrations are participating in the political process, both physically, emotionally, and financially, then that these two parts can meet. And you will realize that what we have in one part of the country, if you travel to the other, you will see them, you see. And so this is the time for us to begin to think of governance and development from the community level. And it all hinges on you as the individual, as a citizen of Ghana. Whatever you have been told, whatever you've been listening, whatever people, your previous government and leaders are telling you that they will provide for you, believe it or not, it's a lie. And even your own life and the life of the previous people, our forefathers who have lived through subsequent or successive government should tell you the promise and fail culture is happening as because you, the citizen, you, the ordinary person or ordinary Ghanaian, you do not understand your responsibility or your rights in a part of the political process. And also you don't understand, you don't know what to expect from your leaders. You are the cornerstone of everything. The development that you need in your local area, it will only come only when you become conscious of the fact that your contribution in all areas of life, particularly financially in the form of tax, is what is needed. And then when we pay the tax and people embezzle it, then we have the right to take them on or to take take them on and then seek accountability. And so my dream and my perfect mental picture to you, my fellow Ghanaian living anywhere in Ghana, is that it is time for you to emancipate yourself from the lies and the deceits from leaders or political leaders, the current system that we have, that it is the central government that has to provide. If any man or woman comes to stand in front of you to promise you all these goody things, believe me or not, it is a lie. You will never see it. But if you take it upon yourself and we speak to one another and tell one another, this is our community, this is our town, let's organize ourselves, and then demand from the central government that there will be a proper structure of local administration. You demand it from them, and then that they will set it up, and you and your leaders in your locality will begin to develop your area based on what you generate and based on what the central government brings. You see? And so knowledge is power. But knowledge, when it is not put into practice, is not power. And therefore, the knowledge I'm giving to you is power that I'm giving to you. But until you put it in practice, you will not see the effectiveness or the power that is in the knowledge I'm giving to you. But the bottom line is, sustained and uniform development can only be attained only through the conscious organization and running of local administration with the cooperation of the people on the ground, generating funds from all corners of the society and using the funds to develop the area. And then when the funds are generated, the central government supplements the locality. So if you go to Britain, we have what we call, as I've already mentioned, we have community services like parks, we have what we call libraries, we have communities, even community schools, we have recreational facilities, and all these things. All these things are done by the local administration with the money that they generate from the locality or the community or the town, and then the central government support them. I keep on hammering this. And therefore, emancipate yourself from the lies that someone is coming to stand in front of you, that you should vote for him and he is coming to do all these things for you. There are some projects that your MP can only initiate. And it cannot be, even the MP represent a collection. The constituency is a collection of towns. So the MP initiating a project, or within a certain term of an MP, the person can only initiate 1 or 2 or 3 projects. All the other towns cannot be satisfied. But he can do more only when every town is doing 8-bit, and then he supplement whatever they do and support them, present them, give them the directives. You see, this is what we call proper governance. This is what we call proper administration. And so I am not speaking to the government, but I'm speaking to you. And I believe that you, the ordinary man or woman, seated anywhere, you can actually rise from where you are and even see yourself in Accra as an MP or as a minister. And as a matter of fact, if you go to Britain and other developed world, most politicians start their career from the local level, from the council, then they rise through this process until they get to the top. And that is my dream, that a time will come that you, the young men and women, you will not travel to Accra to join a political party necessarily that you want a political position, but you work yourself up from where you are. You demonstrate what you can do at the local level, and then you show that to rise up. And when you do the right thing at the local level, when you go to the top, you do the right thing. That is the truth. And as Jesus Christ said, you will know the truth, and the truth shall set you free. This is the way to develop Ghana. This is the way to move Ghana to a level that we can say it is a middle or mid-level developed country. As it is, our governments can put up these structures, these kind of roads and other things, highways and other things in the cities. Believe it or not, the living condition of the ordinary Ghanaian is as poor as a church mouse. It's as miserable. Basic things are not in any of the towns and villages. But when we approach this situation from the community basis, from the ground, generating revenue from the ground, looking at how to develop our local administration and make them effective, we will develop this country such that, putting all them together, men and women will come from all walks of life and say, yes, indeed, Ghana is really going in the right direction. So that is my word of encouragement for you. And as I've always been saying, this is time for us to take our rights and live as independent and powerful people who knows what they want, who knows what we want, and we go for it. And so, that is all I have for you today. And once again, I just want to encourage you, subscribe to our channel, and also pass on this message to your fellow men and women. Join our community. Let us move Ghana to the right path, or to the right way, not by appealing to people in power, but appealing to ourselves, mobilizing ourselves. And when we organize that, we become more powerful, that when they come to us, they know that you are knowledgeable. Therefore, they are not coming to deceive you, but they are coming to listen to you and do what you are telling them to do, and they will do it. So that is how the world is run. We're going to adapt the world to ourselves, but we are not going to adapt to the world. Thank you, and God bless you.